Hey guys, CJ Holland with Holland Kennels here. Thanks for tuning into our station. Today I wanted to talk to you all about your American bullies and their health. Health is just one of those things that people take for granted on a regular basis. You know, as kids, we grow up getting our immunizations. Then, if we're lucky, we go to the doctor and dentist maybe 2 to 3 times a year for our regular checkups and what have you. Most people don't even go to the dentist until they get a toothache. But then what about all these other providers that are out here, right? You've got podiatrists, chiropractors, mental health specialists, physical trainers, dietitians. You've got so many other types of providers out there that I haven't even thought of just in that short amount of time. But all of these providers focus on different parts of our bodies. They're here to not just treat things. They're here to educate us on how we can take care of different parts of our bodies. Because if something's wrong with one part of our body, it ends up affecting our entire body, right? But nobody looks at it like that, or they haven't for many years. You know, most people don't even go to those other providers that I named off until something serious happens. So, and I'm starting to realize a lot of people are becoming woke. You know, they're waking up to their health. Health is wealth. Health is where it's at. Okay? You're starting to realize that society has us trained to work, eat processed food, take chemical-based medicine. All of this just to stay above water. But now people are realizing, like, okay, I'm going to start focusing on my health. And because my job wants me to bust my ass so much, it's taking away from my health. So now I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to start taking my health into consideration. Oh, but then you're getting healthier and now you're starting to realize there's other ways to make money. I don't need to talk about that right now, you guys. Let me get back to our dogs, right? If you're not taking your health into consideration, what does that mean about your dogs, right? Think about it. The average person feeds their dogs kibble. The average person feeds their dogs kibble. Up to 2 times a day. And you've got those people who say, well, I fed my dog kibble their entire life and they lived to be 14, 15 years old. That's great. That's fantastic. But was your dog mentally healthy? Did you have to spend money on skin ailments and use chemical-based products to cure them? Were they recurring? Does your dog's poop smell bad? Real funky? Does your dog use the bathroom more than 2 times a day? Pretty sure your dog's had cancer or some sort of a heart problem. Pretty sure your dog's had worms or some other kind of parasite. Sure your dogs had really dry paws and noses. Sure your dog's fur is not shiny and thick like it should be. Sure your dog sheds a lot. I can go on and on and on, you guys. I can go on and on. Pretty sure if your dog caught an ear infection right now, its body won't know what to do about it. More chemical medicines. Yeah. All right. Chemical medicines for everything. So, here's what I'm getting at. We know that in order for our bodies to do what it needs to do naturally, and it would do naturally, and we wouldn't need all these Western-based, chemical-based medicines to take care of our bodies if we eat what our body is meant to be fueled with. Same thing with dogs. If dogs ate what a wild canine eats, their bodies would know what to do if they were to get allergies, inflammation of the skin, earaches, ear infections, parasites, cancer, heart issues. Like, a dog wouldn't even really have heart issues if he or she was eating what they were meant to eat. Dogs have instincts, so I've never heard of a wild canine having heart issues. Have you? Yeah, I think I've only ever heard of dogs having heart issues when they were in the hands of humans. Yeah. Yeah. And usually dogs get worms when they have been in the care of humans. Funny. There's a lot of natural vegetables and fruits out there that are preventatives of worms, and wow, through all the research I've done, wild canines eat fruits and vegetables. They don't eat grains, though. They don't eat grains. They eat fruits and vegetables, though. And they eat meat. Bones. Raw meat. Body parts, organs, all of that. But they love the organs because they know they're very nutritious. So if we were to feed our dogs these things, that eliminates a lot of skin issues, that eliminates coat problems, that eliminates heart problems, that eliminates mental health issues, that eliminates bone and joint issues, that eliminates parasites, most of them. Very interesting. Because its body will be fueled and balanced and know how to create the antibodies and the defensive cells to fight these things off. As opposed to kibble, which just kind of breaks down and creates a tar in their intestines. And then because their body is so irregular, it just keeps digesting things because it's finally realizing after the fact, this is not so good for me. Let me just digest it out. Now your dog has pooped three to four times already and you've only fed it once. Isn't that insane? But here's the kicker, right? Most people don't want to switch to raw feeding because, oh, well, doesn't that mean they're going to get worms? Or doesn't that mean that I'm going to have to spend more money or take more time out of my day to take care of a dog? Not really. No. You're going to save a lot of money. You're also going to have a lot more food because you can process it or puree it, if you will. You can freeze it. You can store it in the freezer. And it'll last for a very long time, depending on how you go about making it. You will know everything that goes into your dog's food. You can change up the flavor. Hello. If you have picky dogs, which I'm pretty sure you do, our dogs are extremely picky. They get tired of eating the same thing every day. I would too. You can change it up. Today you can have beef. Tomorrow you can have chicken. The third day you can have fish. Blah, blah, blah. You can do so much with this. We have a whole deep freezer dedicated to our dogs. Our dogs eat natural. They poop as many times as they are fed. Occasionally a couple more times, but that's about it. Our dogs like to chew on things, so sometimes they get an upset stomach. It's just the way it is. But overall, their health, their mental health, their physical, their overall health is so much better. Their coat, their skin, their paws. Like, our dogs used to get really dry, flaky paws. We used to have to put this cream on it. And there was only like one cream that would really work, and we'd get it from PetSmart, and it did wonders. But I'm like, they keep licking it off. I don't think that's good for them. They say it's safe, but I can't see that being safe if my dog keeps licking it. Like, that's really gross. But who would have thought that just changing up their diet and keeping them hydrated throughout the day will make that change? And it's just one of those things, like, as a pet owner, even for breeders, like, if you're a breeder, you would really want to consider feeding your dogs naturally. Why? Because I guarantee you're going to have quality, healthy puppies. Okay? Aside from the fact that you have breeders that are consistently breeding in overly massive bones and overly flawed joints and all these other things, like bullies whose bodies are not proportionate, so it's interfering with their physical performance and their overall health, that's one thing, okay? Food's not going to change that. But here's the thing. If you have a physically sound dog and you've got a dog that's being bred selectively, for based off of its genetic makeup and what have you, but you're feeding them naturally, you're going to have a dog that is top notch. You're going to end up coming out of your pocket way less to invest in Western medicine for your dogs. Your dog's body is going to do everything it's supposed to do. I guarantee you. So you guys, starting from the inside out is what I'm getting at. You want to start from the inside out to take care of your dogs, okay? And you want to groom your dog from head to toe. Like, again, people take their health for granted so much. So, you should be getting your nails done every week. You should be exfoliating your skin every day, moisturizing it as much as you need to based off of the weather changes. Using products that aren't high in chemicals. Do the same thing with your dogs. So for our dogs, we use natural products. We only go to the chemical-based products unless we absolutely have to. Like, for example, heartworms, because I'm not exactly for sure, if these natural dewormers that we feed our dogs work on heartworms or not. There's not enough research out there. We still do the heartworm prevention and the heartworm testing because that is something that I cannot see with the naked eye. Like, my dog's not going to vomit or poo, and then I'm going to see worms. Like you would with, like, tapeworms or roundworms, hookworms, and things like that. You could see physically if your dog had them. But heartworms, no, they stay in the heart. So you wouldn't even know if your dog's infested until it's too late. And then it results in surgery and other stuff. So we are really big on heartworm testing, and we're very big on using the heartworm prevention. But like worm prevention, like unless we see actual worms, and it happened to one of our dogs, Roxy had got worms, and I'm pretty sure it came from tree bark because she would eat the bark off the tree. None of the other dogs got them. And then I found whipworms. I believe they were whipworms in her vomit. She threw up one day and I saw whipworms, and yeah, so then I went to the store. We purchased some Pyron's Hill Pamoid, and I picked it up and fed it to her 3 times a day, and then gave her Belly a week's rest, and then fed it to her an additional 3 days, and haven't seen them since. But we had also started going. We started out feeding our dogs kibble and raw food. But then we recently switched to completely raw feeding because we just were like, what the hell, let's just do it. We're halfway there. Why continue feeding them this bull crap with their food? It's not doing them any good. So we went completely raw, and we're like, this could be it, but because the other dogs didn't have it, anyway, that was our conclusion. So we started incorporating natural dewormers with their feedings just in case. And so far, we haven't had any issues. So, and it's been, a year? So, no issues. So, that's great. But we've seen so many changes in our dogs, just physically, mentally, even with their bowel movements. So, okay, back to, using less chemicals. We only use those chemicals I spoke of. But when it comes to bathing our dogs, we bathe our dogs in lukewarm water and apple cider vinegar unfiltered. So it's got the mother in it. It breaks everything down. The pH matches the pH of their skin. It kind of balances their pH on their skin. It's an antifungal, antibacterial. And we use natural moisturizers, coconut oil, olive oil. We give our dogs a probiotic every day because it kind of just helps in case we did feed them something or wait too long. I don't know. Anything could happen. There could be some sort of a bacteria that got in their food. I don't know. Just in case, I'm all about prevention. We feed our dogs a probiotic. And what a probiotic does, it cleans out their gut. It helps just kind of break everything down. If there's any toxins built up, it breaks it down. It cleans it out, pushes it all out. and it helps encourage the body to produce more healthy gut bacteria. So it's kind of just replenishing their gut. So as long as that happens, you don't have issues, like you don't have any more physical ailments. And here's the thing, like one of our good friends, who's also bought a couple dogs from us, they've had an issue with one of their dogs. It's an old dog, about what, like 8-10 years, I don't know. Anyways, their dog is really old, and she's been dealing with these chronic skin allergies and inflammation for years. I think she said the past 5-6 years she's been dealing with this for her dog. Her dog has been through steroid treatments at the vet, different types of topical creams, different types of antibiotics and antihistamines, orally, topical, like you name it. Switching up the diet, switching up the food. She went to all natural feeding, and this dog just could not get a break. She realized that after feeding her dog omega-3s, so like salmon and sweet potatoes, like she fed her dog strictly salmon and sweet potatoes, and with that she's seen a little bit of a change. And it was a good amount of change. Like, it was noticeable. So she stuck with it. But then every now and then, her dog's flare-ups would still happen. And she reached out to me one day and she was like, it's still happening. What would cause a dog to just have inflammation out the blue? Like, do you know anything else I can use for inflammation? Because for a long time she's been good, but then every now and then she'll just have these really bad flare-ups. I'm like, well, did you try like lavender and tea tree oil and using natural moisturizers and bathing her in ACV with water, And she's like, yeah, I'll try those and see how it works and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? Has her diet been changing a lot? Like, or is she kind of still on the same thing? Like, I wonder if because of the fact that she's been on so many diet changes, and at one point in time she was eating kibble, I wonder, she's also been given a lot of chemical based treatments, so I wonder if she has toxins built up in her gut. I really truly believe a probiotic would do wonders for her. If anything, it'll just reset her body, it'll clear everything out, and then you can just kind of start from A1 again. If it doesn't cure everything, at least she's got all that build up out of her body. You know what I mean? But I feel like that'll just kind of reset everything, and it could really help. Bullshit you not. 3 days later, she messaged me saying these probiotics did wonders. Her dog does not have any issues. It got rid of the inflammation. Her fur started growing back within 3 days. No more flaky skin, no more red inflamed skin. She said her dog's skin was hot to the touch. But there was no infection. Her dog was in pain. But probiotics, within a few days, just changed everything. And that's why I'm saying, like, starting from the inside out is going to make a huge difference in your dog's overall health. Okay? Because it just resets everything. And your body, like I said before, when you're using chemical-based medicines, your body becomes dependent on it. And it doesn't learn how to evolve naturally and use the fuel that it's meant to have. Like, you're not fueling your body with the proper nutrients. Like, if your body doesn't have that fuel it needs, it doesn't know what to do. Okay? So, it's all about fueling your dogs from the inside out. Just like it's all about fueling yourself from the inside out. Okay? And you can tell yourself, oh, I don't have time. Yes, you do. You need to make the time. You can do it. And it's literally just, I take a couple days, I take one day over a weekend, and 2 weeks, 2 weekends, right? I prep everything, I buy everything, I prep everything, I freeze it. And we take a block out, a brick out here and there, throw it out and give it to our dogs. And you don't have to feed them as much because it's rich in protein, I'm telling you, your dog is going to be filled out. They're going to be muscular. Their fur is going to be shiny and sleek. It's going to look so good. It's not going to shed as much. It's going to do so much for your dogs. Just do it. Just try it. You will see the difference. You will notice the difference in a week. I'm telling you. You guys just have to try it. You need to feel your dog from the inside out. Trimming their nails. We trim our dog's nails every week and a half. We clean them. We take a brush and we clean them. We trim them and then we buff them. Because if there's splinters in the nails, like, all it takes is for them to get it caught up on a rug or scrape it the wrong way when they're running outside, and your dog can have a really bad toe infection or injury, or they can get parasites. Like, dogs get parasites from dirt. They get it from other parasites like mosquitoes, ticks, things like that. So consistent flea and tick prevention is huge. If you don't want to go the chemical route, then go ahead and start using tea tree oil, lavender, different mints is good to like rub into their skin. But I really like lavender, and I really like tea tree oil. It's a natural repellent, and we haven't had issues with ticks or fleas. And that is something that animals get so much up here in the summer, but we've never had any issues with it. Because worms can be passed through fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, what have you. Buffing their skin, like their toe pads or their foot pads, if they're not buffed on a regular basis, they're going to get cracked skin, just like people can get cracked feet, dry, cracked feet. Keeping them moisturized, keeping their noses moisturized, because the different weather fluctuations, if they're not hydrated and moisturized, they're going to get cracked noses. Keeping their ears clean. Like, you don't want to just douse their ears with water. Like, who takes a bath and just lets water get in their ears? Like, no, you have to actually take something and wash out the gunk that's in your ears. You got to do the same thing for your dogs. Otherwise, they can get ear infections or earaches. So, like, these are all things you need to do. You need to moisturize the inside of their ears. You need to wash their, parts. Like, these are things that people don't take into consideration, and it's so crazy because if you take it into consideration and you actually do these things, your dog will be less prone to contracting other ailments. So, excuse me. I'm getting real passionate in this video, and I need to calm down. But you guys, this is just something that you need to take into consideration. Start out with the food. I'm going to make more videos in the future to kind of just break down each and everything that I talked about today. But start with the food and just pay attention to your dog's overall health. Really take the time to evaluate your health and your dog's health. And see and be honest with yourself. Like, what can I do better? What can I change? What can I commit myself to? Just take one thing and commit to it. Start off there. It happens in steps. Everything doesn't happen overnight, but you got to start somewhere. So evaluate your health, evaluate your dog's health. Be on a health journey, a journey of good health together. Walk with your dog. Anyways, I hope this video helps you. I hope this video helps you today. I hope it kind of just woke you up a little bit, put things into a good perspective. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always willing to give out free advice. And thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a lot. Your subscriptions help us grow as a business, and that's kind of our goal. So we really appreciate the views. We appreciate any support that you give us. And aside from that, I guess you guys, that's it. That wraps it up for today. Have a wonderful day, and until next time.